Hey, this is Dean Pleasance from Suicidal Tendencies and Infectious Grooves. Listen to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews, and today I have on the line with me from the almighty Suicidal Tendencies, lead guitarist, Mr. Dean Pleasance. What's shaking, Dean?
Oh, how you doing, man? Oh, great. Out here in California, having a hot day. Los Angeles, getting geared up for this trip, and we have to be here.
So you guys have a new CD that's out right now called 13, and I got to say, it's a really awesome CD. It hits you from the first track all the way to the last one, and this is true to Suicidal Tendencies factor. It's a Suicidal Tendency CD.
Thank you. Yeah. I think you said it just exactly right.
So how has the tour? How has the touring been with the fans and the new CD? How's the reaction from them?
Oh, it's been very good, very good. We've always been lucky to still have street credibility. I think the band has kind of remained. This band has remained in general to true to its fans and giving them what they want. We our shows we mix in a little bit of old school with the new school, so we get to play 4 or 5 of the new songs, and we throw in some Still Psycho and some Art of Rebellion and this and that. So it's been a great response, and I think the way this CD was made and the way it was recorded, it really, like you said, is a true throwback to the early Suicidal stuff.
Yeah, it is actually, because if you go back to listen to the old stuff, it's all thrash hardcore punk is what I call it, and it's all up in your face, and this is too.
Yes, exactly. You said it just right.
What are some of your favorite songs off this to play live, Dean?
Right now we've been playing Slam City and Smash It and Who's Afraid, and I love playing those songs, and it's just I'd love to do a few more off the new ones, but those so far have been really fun to play. Sometimes we play the Saint No Celebration and stuff like that. But it's been really, really cool. I think the reaction to Slam City has been really good. We just did a new video for it, so everybody should watch out for that on YouTube. And it really gets the crowd going. That song,
Yeah, I actually got to check that out on the website. And too, one of my favorite songs off this CD is "Shake It Out." That is one of my favorite ones off this.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I love playing that too. Yeah, "Shake It Out" is a good song.
Who were some of your influences coming up for music?
Well, musically, I'm from San Antonio, Texas, so of course, all the blues guys, Steve Ray Vaughan and Jimmy Vaughan and all those guys. And also, my early days, I was influenced by a very diverse thing was, I would say Parliament, Bootsy, Larry Graham, Prince, and then on the other side, Kiss, Judas Priest, Ronnie Dio, Van Halen, the early rock things. And then really, really my favorite, singer and band was Dio on his own, when he did the solo thing. So I like Dio with Black Sabbath, but, I liked Ozzy with Black Sabbath too. So,
oh yeah.
But, those were my early influences and kind of, my first guitar heroes, I'd say two were Jimi Hendrix and Van Halen, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. the two guys, the pioneers, I call them.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. Now, me personally, this is my own opinion, but I think they were way ahead of their generations, man. Yeah, I think so. And, the first time I heard Eruption and Ice Cream Man and all that stuff, I was like, whoa, same thing as the first time I heard Little Wing and Hey Joe and, One Rainy Wish and all. I was like, wow, these guys are just, they're so far ahead of, everything. Pretty amazing. Since you like Judas Priest, and we'll get back to Suicidal stuff here, but I want to throw this out here, since you're a Judas Priest fan just like myself, they got a new CD that's coming out, man, finally, after 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was into the early Judas Priest. I had a cassette somebody gave me when I was a kid, and I would never listen to it. And one day I put it on, and I heard You Got Another Thing Coming and all that. I was just like, whoa, the guitar had such a dark sound and such a heavy, and a KK Down and a Glenn Tipton. I was like, how did they get that sound? But that kind of really. I would listen to that cassette till I broke it. I think I broke it and bought another one. The kids nowadays don't know what a cassette is, you know.
I remember having mini cassettes, and I remember wearing them out so bad that I had to go buy a new one of it. So.
Yeah, yeah, you remember that.
So this CD's called 13, and there's some other great bands that's got the album named 13. Did you guys kind of want to go that route? Because I know Black Sabbath's got one called 13, and Megadeth.
Yeah, it's funny because it had been 13 years since we did, a new CD, and then it was 2013, and we just said, oh, we'll name it 13, and without even thinking somebody else was going to do that. And then once we found out which company we were in, we're like, well, we can't change it now. And it's like, well, we're in good company.
Yeah.
We'll just keep it that way. So, I'm glad to be one of the cool bands that's, named 13 this year. Or now it's 2014, but,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys are in that group of metal royalty, I think,
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's it's pretty cool to be mentioned in that, and still, like I said, be able to have our street credibility that we have for the hardcore and the thrash punk metal fans, and
Now you've been part of Suicidal since 1997, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, have you seen a huge fan base jump from the old to the young, or what have you actually seen from that lately?
Oh, well, lately I've seen a lot of younger kids getting into it, and a lot of skater kids, and a lot of younger kids are starting to want to research, we had a few songs in some video games, and they see it, and they go, where did this band come from? So they come to the shows, and they want to see who was Anthrax, who was, these bands that were sort of before their time. Now you got the new metal bands, Avenged Sevenfold, and all these guys like that, and it's very different music. And I think for us, people look at, Metallica as an iconic band, but they had a start, and they were more thrashy and speed metal before, and, now they're obviously a different sounding band, but people want to know. So we're kind of like the living version of we never really had huge, giant success of the multi-platinum artists, but we kind of kept that street cred that makes the kids kind of like, what is Suicidal? We see the hats, we see the skater guys wearing this, what is it? So we've got a lot of those kids coming to the show, and as well as the older generation. And then you get people, we've had people standing there where it's a father, a son, and a mother, you know what I mean? And sometimes you get we had a grandmother and her son and the kid. So it's like,
That's awesome.
And they were, it's pretty awesome, yeah.
Yeah, keep it in the family. I mean, it's a family thing with metal people, and plus punk kids and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it how you guys are a family-oriented band, pretty much.
Yeah, it is. And, the first time, my first concert was opening for Ozzy Osbourne.
Wow.
And I was in a band called Infectious Grooves, and that was 1990. And I was touring with Mike, Robert, and Adam Siegel, and Stephen Perkins from Jane's Addiction was on drums.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed one thing. When we were on tour, there were families there at the Ozzy show. Mm-hmm. And a guy told me, this is my daughter's first concert. I want her to see Ozzy. And, she's 15 or whatever. So the fact that we could do that same thing was just like, wow, this is really cool,
But as a musician, and they come and tell you that after the shows or before the shows, what's that mean to you, though?
That means to me that, first of all, I'm in the right place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second of all, it's like all your hard work and everything you've done, for people to tell you that, they're into your band and they're bringing their daughter or son to your show for the first time, and they saw you this particular year, that particular year, even if I wasn't in the band at the time, and maybe they saw me when I came in the band, and then now their son or daughter's getting to see me play, it means a lot, it really does. Everybody starts out on the guitar, and all you really want is an audience, Yeah. You want somebody to look at you and say, hey, that's cool, that's a cool lick. To be able to play in front of a bunch of people is amazing. To be able to play in front of people and have fans come to see you over the years, that is truly a great, rewarding feeling,
Do you prefer to play clubs or festivals, or does it even really matter to you guys?
They're both very different. The clubs are very personal and can be sometimes more emotional than the festivals. The festivals, you got a lot of big people, and usually what you usually get on the festivals is a chance to play in front of people who maybe would not go see you in a club and are skeptical, and then they see you on this festival environment and they go, wow, I'll go see them in a club, In the club, you got the true hardcore fans that love you, and they're going to be giving 110%, slamming out there and jumping off the stage and doing whatever. And it's like, that's a really the most natural high you can describe. You know what I mean?
What can fans expect at a show from you guys? And sadly to say, I've not got to see you yet, but I hope and I pray that we get approved to see you guys at Rock on the Range this month coming up. So hopefully.
Well, I would say the fans can expect from us always is an explosion. From top to bottom, we come out hard. Like I would say, like the old school heavyweight fight. The bell rings and here we come. We're dancing on our feet and we're out there going, and mics all over the place, and it's just like you said, in your face. It's punk riffs, metal riffs, and solos, and bashing drums, and it's Suicidal. It's Venice punk rock music, and I think if you've never seen it, you'll be amazed. We don't have any fancy lights and explosions and stuff. It's just the band giving 200% out there and playing as hard as we can.
This is the reason why I like this band, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll just go ahead and say it right now. If you check them out on YouTube, I check a lot of it out on YouTube because I haven't got to see them in concert yet because I'm in Kentucky and, shows don't come around here that much. But these guys are nonstop, man. I mean, it's like a party from the get-go.
Right.
Dancing. I mean, Dean's all over the place with the guitar, and he's still jamming the hell out on that thing.
Oh, thank you.
So I hope I get to see you guys at Rock on the Range, man.
Oh, man, yeah, definitely. I'd love to meet you, man. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I was talking to Lorenzo, and he said let him know, and I get to hook up with you also.
Oh, yeah, Lorenzo's a good guy, man. He'll definitely take care of you, yeah.
How do you want the fans to remember you guys when they leave that show?
I want them to, when they leave the show, I want them to be itching in their pants to tell their friend that didn't go, you missed it. You missed a hell of a show. And next time they come, if you don't go to the show, you're stupid. I mean, that's, that's what I want them to feel like. Wow. I want them to share this with everybody and just, have a smile on their face from ear to ear for the next week, just thinking like, wow, that was a hell of a show. That was awesome. That's what makes us happy, knowing that the fans and the people there were just, blown away. That really makes us happy,
If you can recall the first time you heard the fans singing along to Suicidal music on stage, how did that go over with you, man?
The first time for me, like we during the Warped Tour, we did in '99, we did Australia, we did the States, and we played with Blink-182 and bands like that, and I remember the first time we got to play in front of these audiences, and sometimes you play for 30 minutes, sometimes 15, and I remember people singing along to our song, to our record, the Freedom record, and I, that was the first full record I'd been a part of in the band, and it really gave me the chills, and it really felt awesome, to experience that emotion from the, because music is very emotional, especially this kind of music is very high energy, high, So to feel that, it was just amazing.
And I keep saying this, and I can't stress this out enough. Music is so much therapeutic for people.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it is. It's just a relief, man. I mean, I can't explain it.
Yeah, no, it is a relief. It can soothe the very soul.
Yeah,
that's what they
exactly
say. Yeah,
right.
it can soothe, yeah.
Are there any shows that stick out in your mind, Dean, that you just can't believe you was part of?
Yes, there was a few shows. We did a show in Colombia a few years back, and we played in front of 100,000 people.
Wow.
It was a government-sponsored show, and it was truly amazing. We played a soccer field, and to see those kids, just lined up from, you couldn't even see the end of it. And I remember just thinking, like, I'm standing here doing this. It was surreal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I think just recently we did the Orion Festival, and Suicidal got to play it. In the middle of our set, we did Infectious Grooves with Robert Trujillo.
Yeah.
And that was a few years back, and that was an amazing experience just to, look up, and Robert came on stage, and we did Infectious songs, and it was just like really, really cool. It was a great, unforgettable show.
It just seems like, too, when you hit the stage, you can just feel the electricity from the first note to the end of it.
Yeah. It's really a cool thing,
Any new
really
band?
I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Any new bands you're listening to that you like right now?
Right now, I would say no. I haven't really been listening to much. I've been just listening to old stuff. I actually just been downloading iTunes, and I got the Last in Line and Rainbow in the Dark and all the stuff that I was just talking about. Yeah, that's kind of funny. I just before I was listening to Kill Switch Engage, and my favorite band has always kind of been like Deftones and people like that. But right now, I'd say anything heavy. Just I was going back and listening to the Metallica stuff because we just played with Robert a few months ago at the Whiskey with Infectious. So I was kind of like digging on some old For Whom the Bell Tolls and stuff like that.
Oh, the good stuff.
Yeah.
I like Death Magnetic. I thought that was a really good CD.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought it was. I mean, if you haven't got to check it out, check it out. I thought it was really good.
No, I'll definitely check it out, yeah.
Since it's the digital age, do you think it's helped bands promote their music now, or do you think it's hurt it?
I think it's done both. It's easier to promote your music, but it's harder to reap the rewards of the music because it's so easily accessible. Anybody can just download your music or get it for free or find some kind of, way to tube socket or something, and then they don't want to pay for it. I myself personally go to iTunes and buy people's music because I'm a musician and I feel like, these people worked hard and stayed up all night writing this song and doing whatever and recorded and I don't know what they were going through when they were making this record, so I do want to support them and I do appreciate when people support us,
I actually bought your guys' 13 from Amazon. So I bought it.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yep. Yeah, I appreciate it, yeah.
Normally when they
cool.
come out...
To me, even when my buddies play around town and they say, oh, I'll put you on the guest list, I said, no, hey, the ticket's $5 or $8, I'll pay for it, man. You guys, you're playing, It's like, let me support you,
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about, is supporting everybody, man.
Exactly, right. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's nothing wrong with being on the guest list or getting a free drink, but, like I said, sometimes it's like, no, don't worry about it. I'll just go ahead and pay,
What do you think that Suicidal Tendencies brings to the table for music?
I think we bring, musicianship that a lot of people don't really know about. Like, when you think of, some people say punk music or thrash, they just think of guys that really don't know the instruments that well, or maybe don't even care about the instruments. But I think when you're talking about us, everybody in this band loves playing their instrument, and it shows. And I think that's the difference between Suicidal and a lot of different bands. I'm not saying other bands don't love their instruments either, but it shows when you see us play, and people will recognize it right away, like, okay, these guys enjoy what they're doing, and they take time to practice and all that kind of stuff. And, I think the fans really appreciate that because they don't necessarily expect it, but when they hear the music, they go, oh, and the second thing I think is that even though this is really hard music, Suicidal's music is very musical, It's got changes and emotions and ebbs and flows, so I think that's what we bring to the table. Yeah, that's
what I like about it. The drop downs, man. I mean, the breakdowns in the songs. I mean, damn, y'all hit it good.
Thank you.
I mean, honestly, I like the old school stuff. I mean, I Saw Your Mommy. I loved, and to be honest with you, the first time I heard it, this is no joke, I had traded a Sega Saturn off and got a bunch of CDs, and one of them was Suicidal Tendencies. And it had that song on there, and I've been hooked ever since. How Will I Die is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, How Will I Laugh, that's a...
How Will I Laugh Tomorrow, How Will I Laugh Tomorrow.
Yeah, that is another one that's, I love playing that song live. I love playing Mommy. I love playing Subliminal. Those songs are just amazing. Like you said, the different changes of tempo.
Yeah.
And, it really sets things up, and then the crowd can really get into it.
You guys are getting ready to go on tour again, and looks like, is it next month that you guys are going back on tour?
Yeah, actually in a few days.
yeah, exactly. Just in a few days. Yeah, May 7th, you guys are going to be at Sacramento, California. California.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, you guys will be at Rock on the Range in May. So, everybody, please get out and check Suicidal Tendencies out. You will not be disappointed. If you don't, then blame me. So.
Definitely check us out, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we give you all we got.
Dean, how can people get a hold of you guys to say we love your music or buy your merch? How can they do that?
We have two websites. One is definitely the Facebook. It says the official Suicidal Tendencies. If you go on Facebook, just give us a like. And then the second one is www.suicidaltendencies.com. All in one word, Suicidal Tendencies. And the links are on both pages. The easiest one to find is Facebook, and then our main page is right on there. So, check us out. And then, obviously we're on YouTube, and give you a link to the Facebook as well.
Before I let you go, will you care to do a promo for the show?
Oh, sure. Hey, this is Dean Pleasance from Suicidal Tendencies and Infectious Grooves. Listen to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some Suicidal Tendencies coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. I want to thank Dean for being on the show. Thank you so much, Dean.
Oh, thanks for having me, man, and look forward to meeting you one day.
Yeah, you got that right, brother.
All right.